To be completely honest, sometimes I am not focused and not motivated. Sometimes I get really emotional, as a lot of people probably do. I find it hard to find motivation, but ultimately it comes down to my dreams and my younger me's dreams as well. It just takes mentally refocusing to gather yourself and remember why you actually started in the first place. It's like, why am I doing this?
I absolutely loved doing this special mother-daughter episode. It was even more meaningful having my own daughter, Chloe, join me as co-host to interview Angelina and her mother, Kerry, who have such a special bond and an inspiring journey. At just 17, Angelina is already a 6-time national champion in race walking. Founder of her own activewear brand, Plod Squad Apparel, and a top-performing Year 12 student. Beside her is her mother, Kerry, a supporter, mentor, and the kind of parent every athlete hopes for. Her steady guidance and values have played such an important role in shaping Angelina's success, both on and off the track. In this episode, Angelina and Kerry share their incredible journey through the world of endurance sports, the challenges of being a young elite athlete, the importance of family support, and how to stay grounded and motivated through it all. We also dive into how her business, Plod Squad Apparel, was created not just to support Angelina's Olympic dreams, but to empower other athletes as well. It's an example of turning passion into purpose. Whether you're a parent of a young athlete, an inspiring athlete yourself, or simply someone striving for personal growth, this episode is filled with inspiration and practical advice for sport and life. Welcome, Angelina and Kerry, to the D8 Training Podcast. Angelina, can you tell us how you got started in race walking and what drew you to endurance sports?
So I actually did my first walk in under sevens at Lille Athletics with a 700 metre race walk and had quite good natural technique. I did all the events at Lille Aths, and the whole way through I was good at the walk, not necessarily all the other events. I was pretty bad at shot put, long jump, that sort of thing. I won multiple state titles and only started training for race walking in 2022 when I was 14. Endurance and running has been a big part of my life since I can remember. I come from a family of endurance runners. Obviously, my mum's a runner, my grandmother was a marathon runner, and so it's sort of just been in my blood. And it's a big passion of mine because you get that freeing feeling when you run.
And I heard your grandma was quite amazing. She started at 39 and was running, 15 years?
15 years, yeah, 15 years. She had done 38 marathons and held some world records.
And even Kerry, you did a national as well for running.
Yeah, I did 3K on track, nationals and 10K, City to Bay many times, positioned there. I think Mum's got a few records on the City to Bay title as well. But just run for the love of it. Freedom.
Angelina, how did you go from running and then deciding to go into race walking?
Well, obviously I'd been race walking all the way through since under sevens, and running was always a big part of my life, and not necessarily competitively, but just like we would go on family runs most days. When I was really little, I would ride the bike next to Mum when she was running. Kind of switched over now, you're on the bike sometimes. It wasn't really a switch. It was more just I have potential in race walking, so I chose to focus my training on race walking. I still run for the joy of running.
Really random question. What do you think about when you run for such long times?
To be honest, not much. It's more a break from thinking because I'm a big thinker and my mind's constantly going. And running, I get that freedom, calm. It's sort of just like a mental break.
Angelina, you didn't specialise straight away, like you said, in race walking. You did other sports. Kerry, what made you choose and get her to do different sports early on?
My husband and I had believed that just starting on moving side to side, up and down, and forward motions are really important from a young age. just to build overall strength and just get them to work out what sport suits them. Because if they wanted to do a particular sport and didn't have the skill set or never really built up the skill set, it was very hard to focus on. So I think for Angelina, walking chose her. Her body and her technique had basically just blended in and was picked up by quite a few people. Doing the multiple amount of different sports from a young age created less injury, more focus on just overall strength. It's going to be overall better for bone density health, from a young age all the way through.
The two main rules that you and Papa always had was have fun, do your best.
Yeah, have fun, do your best. As a young kid, you weren't, winning, but you were the middle of pretty much every sport.
I think it's important that kids try different sports and then they test out all their muscles because they don't know which one's going to be best for them.
Yeah.
Angelina, what's been a career highlight or proudest moment so far?
That is a really tough question for me to answer because I've had so many highlights in my career that's been short, I'm talking about my entire career. It's got a lot more to go. But it would have to be my first national title, which was December 2023. It was a 3 kilometre in Perth and I was not expecting to win. I was coming from about the middle of the pack in all my other races, so the win wasn't what I was expecting, but apparently my coach and parents knew that I was capable of that. And since then, I haven't lost. I've won every national since, but it is much harder to stay at the top than it is to get to the top.
Oh wow, you better keep your streak going. It's first place.
Angelina's like the turtle in the hare. She's this turtle at the back, if you've watched any of her races. And all the hares run out fast and can't keep it up. And they just tire out and go slower and slower. And she's just like this turtle going, yeah, same pace, same pace.
When you see everyone run out and go ahead of you, do you feel like you need to keep up with them or have you got your strategy, your plan in place?
Well, my previous coach taught me very well about that and taught me how to only think about, so basically put the blinkers on like in horse racing. I'm just thinking about being consistent each lap, like metronome. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And you end up catching people when they slow down. It's mentally hard and it's a hard thing to learn. And sometimes I still struggle with it, but it's a good habit.
So what does a typical training week look like, especially in the peak season?
So in race walking, we don't really have a peak season. There's winter season, summer season. Winter season's on the road and summer season's on the track. Unless you or your coach sort of chooses to have a bit of a break. I did just have a little bit of a break, so I am rebuilding at the moment. But usually we do 2 speed sessions a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, which usually on the track. A long session on Sundays, which depends if it's summer or winter season, but usually around 14 to 16 Ks. Race on Saturday or just an easy jog, and then another 1 or 2 easy sessions in the week.
So that's 5 sessions a week.
To keep that body moving throughout the week, rather than stiffen up and do nothing.
So how long do your training sessions go for?
On Sundays, the long walks, usually an hour and a half maybe. And then the speed ones on the track, they might go for 2 hours if you include warm-up, cool-down. And socialising.
But that's the best bit.
Yeah.
Chloe does gymnastics, but sometimes she's a bit more closer to her gymnastics friends than school friends because they've got that common interest.
Yeah.
And you also find that your gymnastics friends know how hard and the discipline that needs to be put into place.
They can just understand you.
Yeah.
Whereas friends at school might be like, oh, just come out with us, don't go to training. It's like, well, actually, I can't miss training.
Yeah. Come on, there's a party.
My brother played for the Socceroos, and one of the bits as they sort of passed that 18, 19 age and you could drink alcohol and go out, he was determined to make it. But so he was in bed. So the curfew was 11 o'clock and he was there home, give and take 10 minutes at 11 o'clock. And while all the others went out, and that was probably one of the reasons he made it. I don't think he was better than anyone else. He was just very disciplined.
Don't say yes, say no.
So do you do strength training?
Currently, no, as we've just been rebuilding base fitness and mileage. But I will start with twice a week in the Sassy gym soon. Well, it is really important for endurance athletes as it does help stay injury-free, builds power, control, and for race walkers, especially stabilisation in the hips.
So Sassy will be fun. Congratulations on making it in there.
Thank you.
Kerry, I heard that you do strength training. What sort of strength training do you do?
I actually do HIIT sessions with weights or use my own body weight to, sometimes I might do some Pilates with bands. I'd like to mix it up, but I'm also interested in trying to create bone density as I get older. I think that's very important, especially when our hormones start changing. Yes, it comes.
Yeah, and it's not as easy as when you were younger.
No. And I pretty much have done something every day since I was 15. I mean, riding to school just to get to the bus was 8 Ks for us, living on the farm. So we did training even though it wasn't training. It was
Incidental exercise.
Yeah.
You look amazing.
You'll be like sick in bed, almost throwing up, and you'll be like, I gotta go for my run.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a disease.
I find when I miss a gym session, I actually feel lost. It's like I need to go out there or at least go for a walk and do that movement, and then I find I feel a lot better as well.
I think so.
You'll be like throwing up, and then 10 minutes later, you'll be like, where's Mama? Oh, she's on the treadmill.
That's where you get all your passion when it comes to race walking, your discipline. What a good inspiration.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yeah.
And that's something that I love that you both do. You go on runs and walks together. And I'm a big believer, family that trains together sort of stays together, and they're the habits we try to instill in our kids. What benefits have you noticed for yourself and Angelina from going on these runs and walks together?
I think we have a good relationship. We actually like to communicate on those walks, but we've also made lots of funny memories.
And videos.
And videos from going on our hikes.
Actually, I saw one of them on Instagram. It looks so much fun. I actually thought you looked more like her sister until I read the caption, Mum.
We've made so many movies on hikes and stuff.
Yeah, we've been to Deep Creek with bare minimum.
That's a story for another day.
Do I want to ask?
I've made her hike places without sleeping bags
Okay.
and tents.
That was my pillow. So basically, how old was I? Like 7 or 10 or something. Yeah. And we hiked from Glen Osmond all the way up to Piccadilly with all our camping stuff. And she's like, oh, I put a mini pillow in my bag to carry in my bag because we were carrying our own stuff. She goes, oh, you don't need the pillow. It'll just weigh you down. When we get there, she's put my pillow in her bag and she goes, oh, I brought it, so I get to use it. So I was there, no pillow, no blanket, and she had the pillow and the blanket.
Minimal amount of food.
And then we had to use the sleeping bag as a towel.
Yeah, forgot towels because I had to carry everything. And we camped there. We used our sleeping bag to dry ourselves off because you couldn't sleep with it being so sticky from walking all the way up. We didn't bring enough food. We were starving, so we made friends.
With someone who was glamping.
They
had wine and hot chocolate.
Did you get some of that?
We got it all. We got hot dogs. We got hot chocolates.
Jackpot.
We brought 2-minute noodles, but we had no hot water.
We're going to try that, Chloe.
No. Because you're going to steal everything. You're like, I'm so cold.
Oh, yeah. You made some friends and you got your own sleeping bag and a nice pillow because they'd brought everything. Mm-hmm. And I kind of dragged over the sleeping bag.
What a good memory as well.
That's only one of the many.
So, Angelina, what do you enjoy about running with your mum?
Well, I like having the company because a lot of being an elite athlete, especially with endurance running, it's very, very lonely. Many hours, early mornings, I'm up 5 a.m. most mornings. Yeah. I like running with Mum because it's where it all started. Obviously, when I was little, when I was like 5, 6, 7, I would go on the bike and she would do her long runs. And then when I got a bit older, I would run with her. And now she's on the bike with my drink bottle and when I'm running.
So it's just how you guys bond together.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I love how the roles have reversed. So she was on the bike when she was little while you were running, and now you're on the bike.
Yeah, I remember going, come on, hurry up. I think I made you a race walker because every time I went shopping, I'd be power walking through the shops.
Little legs. I would be jogging to keep up when she's like walking through Coles.
Do you do everything fast? You're like in and out and...
In, out, move, yep, get everything done.
Angelina's up early, goes to school, now has got the business as well. How do you support her training while balancing school, recovery and a social life?
I'm just being there. I feel like I'm her emotional support or a punching bag.
Outlet.
Or an outlet, yep, in many different ways. But just being there, a coffee buddy.
Do you drink coffee?
We're coffee snobs and chili snobs.
What age did you start coffee?
I probably started liking coffee a year or two ago. Before that, I would just get chai lattes on dates, but yeah.
Caffeine is no good.
Chloe likes her chai lattes. we just started that, but coffee's still a no.
Go for a hike, come back, have coffee or a chai latte with mum, and then there's half your day gone and you spent it with your mum.
They're the best moments. It started off with baby chinos, just sitting there chatting, then hot chocolates, and now chai lattes. So training at an elite level comes with big commitments. So there's early mornings, 5 o'clock, late nights, and people don't see that, but there's also the financial pressure behind the scene. How much of your journey has been self-funded versus supported by the sport?
Well, actually, so far, none has been funded by the sport. It's all been self-funded, so travelling interstate, SA uniforms, shoes, which are absolute massive expense for endurance athletes, physios, massage, recovery centres, heaps more. It's all been self-funded, which is actually why I started Plod Squad Apparel to help fund my journey, especially with World Juniors coming up next year in Oregon, and then the ultimate goal is Brisbane 2032 Olympics. Recently, I got accepted into EAP, which is the Emerging Athlete Program with SASI, so we do get some things with that, like entry into the track, which at the moment had been $7 every time we go to the track, and a few other things as a tier 2 EAP, but it's not much, and that's only something new they've started.
Wow, which is amazing to think you're, 6-time national champion representing South Australia, but it's all out of your own expense and accord.
And with 4 nationals in the year, and we're going Perth, Canberra. Canberra's really expensive.
Canberra seems to be more expensive.
But it seems to be a common theme across the board in the different sports. We had Abby here that does trampolining. She works just to fund her sports, and she's been represented Australia at the world level.
Maybe there needs to be some focus or maybe some structure for some of the kids. I know Sassie's new. Our building went up, in this year? Yep, the opening was this year. But then when it comes to other sports, soccer, gymnastics, there's a lot of families that are financially supporting that. But keeping kids in sport and also keeping them when they go through year 11, year 12 is another trouble in itself.
Definitely. I think kids in sports, really important. And unfortunately, there's some barriers, especially if you want to compete at the high level. I know Chloe does gymnastics, and that's 15 hours a week. And then she got accepted into the state program, and then we pay for the state program. And similar, you pay if she makes the state team to travel and compete.
Yeah, it's like I got invited to a Olympic training camp in Canberra in January of this year. So I was training alongside all the current Olympians there. And there was a group of about 20 of us. We had to pay for the camp.
But not the Olympians. They didn't have to.
2 of the Olympians didn't have to, I don't think. And then a few of them were paying half the amount. And then we were paying the full amount, even though we got invited. And it's like...
Is it really an invitation?
Yeah.
Not really. You're supporting the ones that are getting it for free.
You've won those 6 national titles, which is phenomenal. How do you stay focused and motivated?
To be completely honest, sometimes I am not focused and not motivated. Sometimes I get really emotional, as a lot of people probably do. I find it hard to find motivation, but ultimately it comes down to my dreams and my younger me's dreams as well. It just takes mentally refocusing to gather yourself and remember why you actually started in the first place. It's like, why am I doing this?
What's your why?
It's the feeling that it gives me, because say before a run you might not feel like getting up and doing it, but that feeling that you get after you've accomplished something, it's something like you can't explain. You crave that feeling.
I get what you mean. Like, it's nowhere to the level where you are at, but often I don't feel like going to the gym. And then I walk in, I do the session and I walk out and I feel that accomplished, where I find that it's easier to implement that in other areas of life as well.
Yeah. Weight sessions actually tend to give you more energy once you leave, but sometimes when you do an endurance 20k run, it can kind of deplete a little bit more. So I think that's during the week you need that balance. But
You feel more energized after weight sessions until you get to the next day and you can't sit down.
and then you can't go to the toilet.
So, Angelina, were there any days you didn't want to train? So, what helped you keep going?
Absolutely. Some days I just did not want to get out of bed. Some days I still don't want to get out of bed. I mean, some days on a long session, I'll stop after the first 200 metres and break down because I cannot fathom going the whole 16
We've all been
kilometres.
there.
But I like to break things down in my head. So the first 6Ks might be easy. Well, I know for me, 6Ks, that's a short distance. That's easy for me. And then I can do 4 more and that gets to 10. And it's like, I'll stop when I get to 10. But then I get to 10:01 and it's like, I can't stop at 10:01. I got to keep going. Just another 2. And you end up getting through the whole thing. But honestly, I can't stand not training, if that makes sense. I might not feel like it in the moment, but once you finish, as we said before, you feel really good. And if I don't train, I regret it for the rest of the day. So
Yeah, those 2 days off during the week
they're
of doing
hard.
nothing, it can actually be quite stiff.
Yeah.
So I trained tomorrow. It would have been better on the body to go for a gentle jog or a gentle walk.
Do you do any recovery, like rolling?
I do a lot of foam rolling because massages are so expensive. I have like a personal massage mum.
That's what my
I
mum
used to
does.
massage for 20 years, so
Oh, you're a massage therapist.
I used to, yeah.
I was going to a recovery centre with an ice bath for a bit, but again, that's more out of pocket. Not doing that currently. You try to use the shower, put that on cold.
I think a shower is harder than an ice bath.
It is
'Cause it's coming,
actually
like, down
mentally,
on
yeah.
you.
There's actually some theory with a women an ice bath is not necessarily as beneficial as it is for a male because of our body temperature core or something. Yet to do some more research, but
So what do you eat before you train?
I usually like oats, so porridge with like maple syrup and berries, although maple syrup is very expensive.
it's all right, sweetheart. I'm here. I've got money.
And then I like snacking on like jelly beans or apricot bars or LCMs as just before as like quick glucose. And then chocolate milk after because it's got the perfect ratio, 3-to-1 ratio of carbs and protein for recovery.
So, Angelina, how do you handle loss or not getting the result that you like?
Use the frustration as fuel and come back stronger.
That's a great piece of advice.
Does it motivate you?
Yeah, not succeeding, I get very frustrated. It's like, I don't want to feel like this again. So you work harder, you come back stronger.
How do you measure your success? Do you look at the time or what you rank?
Well, with endurance, running or race walking, I think it's very much time because you have like time goals for qualifications. Mostly as you get faster, you're going to get ranked higher.
You focus on your own time as opposed to what everyone else is doing around
But
you.
then also taking in consideration the conditions as well. So it would be time on perfect conditions. Or
Canberra track's very windy.
yes.
Windy, wet, cold.
Kerry, how do you help Angelina stay mentally strong through the setbacks or losses or if she hasn't received the time that she wished?
Just there for her listening ear. She's very disciplined and very organised.
Hard on myself.
Yeah, she's very hard on herself, so I've got to be that soft person to kind of balance her. I think where her papa might actually be hard as well, so create 2 hards, I've got to find that kind of balancing.
What would you say or how are you soft? And I'm asking probably purely selfishly.
How am I soft? Trying not to take her outburst personally, but taking it as she needs help to calm. because going through teenage hormone changes and everything else, there are intense moments. There are moments of feeling under pressure when it comes to doing year 12 and being top in your studies, but also top as an athlete all round. And it does take a personality type to do that as well, because most of the kids are dropping out at this age in coming
It's
sports.
like the kids that are good at school don't do a sport, and the kids that are good at sport, not a lot of them excel at school. It's hard to be at that top level on both, because it's like you're working hard in training and then you're also working hard in school. I get up early, 5 a.m. to do homework a lot of the time if I've got training after school, because I won't be able to do homework after school.
And I guess we're also there in trying to get the teachers to understand that we also have other priorities as well, and it's okay for them to do those things, not drop them, because it's going to be eventually be the better person or better version of themselves not to drop them. But sometimes teachers just think, nah, we've got to get this work out, we're going to overload you because we've got to do all this, we've got to tick off the criteria, but they don't look at the whole picture.
So you're painting that picture for them to have a look at,
Yeah.
okay, how can we win across all areas and be at the highest?
Yeah, how can we leave year 12 and be ready for the next step? Sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes I just say, you know what, you need a hug.
Goes both ways as well. Sometimes mum just needs a hug.
Sometimes you need to be left alone too.
Sometimes we just need, So just to read that, and not, sometimes we don't know it.
Women are better at reading than men.
That's, I think, as a society where men can improve too, because that they are told to just get over it, be a man, whereas they need to feel those feelings and then build that resistance. So then when they come up again, they are able to manage them in a...
They also sometimes need to acknowledge that women can be more emotional.
Yes, 100%.
And it's okay. Just go, you're emotional.
And what advice would you give to parents of young athletes about supporting their kids in the right way?
Firstly, driving us there and being available. Yeah, or have yoga, or get the kids through P's so they can drive themselves there.
Has that been a game changer now that Angelina drives?
Yes and no, because I enjoy watching her events or being part of those training sessions as well, because it's my hour that I can train at the same time. So yes and no, because I still got to find that hour myself. But how do we support our kids? Just giving them the opportunity to try different sports and
Support their choices.
yeah, just support that choice. I've come from that running background. She's not necessarily going to follow those footsteps.
It almost sounds like you get yourself educated on what options are available for her, and then you present them to her and let her choose those options.
Yeah, Little Athletics was a big part. We actually did a lot of the Tiny Tots and ran the Tiny Tots through Eastern Districts. And then Angelina was still going up year by year by year, and Wes and I were still running those Tiny Tots. And then Wes continued running the Tiny Tots for 10 odd years. And I said, your daughter's nearly finished Little Aths. He just liked dealing with the little ones.
I think...
But when I looked at each of your different events, you needed speed for long jump. You needed speed for triple jump, speed for 100, 200s. A high jump, you were not too bad at actually jumping, but then you got stage fright like a horse.
I landed on the bar on my back, and I've never been able to do high jumps since. Speed, never have had and never will have. We have slow twitch fibres and no speed. I almost race walk the same speed as I run 100 metres. So.
Yeah, pretty much. But when you actually came to the overall trophy, you were pretty good right round. Yeah,
I think every kid should do Little Athletics because
it's cheap.
It is affordable. Like the whole season's $100 or something.
Yeah, you're
and
running,
not
you're
even
jumping,
and there's all the different events. So it's a good way to build strength in all different areas.
Yeah. We love Little Athletics. Both my kids do athletics, but we're the opposite. Chloe's into the speed.
Yeah, 1, 2, you could do all of it.
And then we were doing high jump and she landed on the bar. She jumped quite high and then we're like, oh, that's injury for gymnastics. That's a tough one because that's the only one you do in Little Athletics that you jump until you fail.
Yeah, and then that's it. You're out. Yeah. We did fall on the bar and actually got stage fright every time we got to a particular height from then on. We tried working past it because she could have actually been quite a decent high jumper.
And then race walking found you.
So Angelina, what's something your mum did that made a really big difference in your journey and you think all parents should do?
Definitely trying all the different sports and not specializing in a particular sport, and not training serious and hard. Like, obviously you still train, but not training as in it's like extremely serious. You got to do this, this, this. You got to hit this, this, this. Because when you're older, it's important to be able to look back on the joy that you had in that sport, and that's why you keep going. You lose a love for a sport if it's always just serious.
Having a love for sports and not being serious is for always. Like, you want to enjoy doing sports, and that's what we say. Well, we obviously run day 8 training to the gym. If you don't enjoy the gym, that's okay. There's Pilates, there's boxing, there's yoga. Just find something that you enjoy that you'll keep coming back to. Staying active is so important.
And the elderly, something completely different on the end of the scale. But yeah, we do need to keep active, otherwise we'll curl up.
It's amazing. We've got a Forever Strength program, which is for 60 plus year olds, and some have never done strength training, and the way that they're able to improve over the time and the differences, and it's the little wins. I can now bend over and pick up something off the floor.
I can go to the toilet by myself without having a carer come in and support that.
You're almost old enough to join them.
Ha ha ha.
Your mum looks young. Well, we won't go there on the podcast, but like I said, she could be your sister.
So Angelina, I heard you started a business, Plod Squad. I think that's really cool. It's amazing that you made your own business. Like, you've inspired me a lot. I've definitely wanted to start a business like before, but I wasn't sure if I could. Now that I see you doing it, I feel like maybe I can try. I'd love to hear what inspired you to start.
Essentially, I needed money to help fund my career, but I hated working under someone. I don't know, it was just, I worked in restaurants, I worked in the central markets, and it's always like you got to do things a certain way, and I'm working for someone else and I'm getting minimal wage. So I decided to start my own thing. But Plod Squad Apparel was also a way to help athletes be seen when they're not performing on the big stage, because a big part that I found was the everyday grind was like you're not being recognised, but you're only being recognised on the big stage. And sometimes those time in between is the hardest part. I brainstormed different businesses for probably years. I mean, we were thinking of all sorts of different things just for fun. And she's like, why not just do something? Just get started. So, yeah.
So she had to present it to the family table.
I did a bit of a Shark Tank.
Tell us how that worked.
So I said, well, Shark, take it. So she presented it to us. Husband was a little bit more reserved about it.
A lot of small businesses fail. It's probably going to be too hard.
So who's probably being the rational or the logical? I was like, you know what? We're going to learn a lot of skills here. Not only are we going to participate in something from scratch, you're probably going to learn a lot more than what you do at school.
If it failed or if it succeeded, you still learn skills. So it's not a failure if you learn something.
So what does plod mean?
Plod can mean slow to a lot of people, but to me it was more about consistency and persistence, because you're like plodding through every day. It's about being recognised for the day-to-day grind, no matter what your goal is. So it's about athletes supporting athletes.
And what you said before that really loved is the winners are always recognised, maybe first, second, third, but each of one of those athletes has trained so hard to be there, and they all need to be recognised for the time and the effort that they put on, not just the ones that win, because usually it's only less than a second difference between first and
could change over a season from having a bad season or a good season.
And especially in females, especially the big dropout in sports, a big part of that is they're not being recognised. They don't feel like they're good enough or they're not supported.
Definitely. And we're not men either, which is why I like Dr. Stacey Sims, where our bodies are different, and all the research previously was all done on men, whereas our bodies are different. So we're probably doing things that weren't great for our body. Hopefully now that's all changing.
Hopefully we get some more research in working out how to fine-tune the women's body and performance.
Also, the menstrual cycle affects training massively with the different estrogen and testosterone cycle.
Do you train differently based on the time of the cycle?
I don't think the male coaches understand, but we should actually be working harder in between that cycle very differently to maybe a training program leading up for that month. I don't think they have an understanding. But at the same time, I think a lot of females during their period may have actually won gold medals.
It's also normalised for women to lose their periods being an elite athlete, which is not a good thing.
No, overtraining, maybe under-eating for our athletic performances.
Obviously, the estrogen allows for the absorption of calcium into the bones. So if you don't have your period, your body can't absorb the calcium and you're for high risk of osteoporosis, osteopenia,
That we don't actually see until years to come.
It's not only a race walker, the knowledge that you have in what you just explained is phenomenal. So I can definitely see why you do well at school. Back to the Plod. What do you sell at Plod?
So at the moment we sell a range of apparel, so hoodies with different slogans, and we're doing running shorts for men and women now, the bike shorts for women. And so the hoodies have a bunch of different slogans like the post-run hoodie, post-lift hoodie, post-swim hoodie, and then the athlete hoodie, which is sort of a play on the athlete on a nutritional label of food, different ingredients needed to be an athlete. And they are definitely conversation starters. And then I'm looking into doing ebooks online, which is something new that hasn't actually been announced yet.
Oh, first one on the D8 Training Podcast.
I was thinking of doing an athlete ebook, help athletes with different knowledge in there. So like how to stay motivated when you're not motivated, nutrition, all sorts of things like that. And then a more beginner ebook for people just getting out, getting started, like just getting out of the house and going for a run. Basic nutrition tips, how to be fit and healthy.
I love that. And when are they launching?
Oh, not sure. Probably maybe in a month or so.
Watch this space. I want to get back to your hoodies. You make and sew them right from scratch, don't you?
Well, Mum hates sewing.
I actually did the fashion design when I finished school, actually, because I had a label called DKKL with a lot of designers that I was studying with. So, yeah, just using my skills.
She had all the sewing machines and stuff in the shed, so and all different things.
I love that they're all Australian made. And I'll add all the details in the show notes, so make sure everyone checks them out. Being a young entrepreneur, what lessons were you able to apply from what you learnt into sports into your business?
So sport taught me resilience and routine. If something doesn't work, you don't give up, you tweak it, you try again, which is just like in training, consistency, and it wins in a business too. So it's all very like applicable to each other.
I love that and how you're able to apply it across the board and just setting up this business. You're amazing, a complete inspiration at 17 years old. So watch out world for when you get older.
Brisbane 2032.
We'll be there supporting and cheering.
Yeah. So now it's time for rapid fire questions. I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions and you just have first answer that pops into your head. What's your favourite pre-race meal?
Porridge with maple syrup and berries and coffee.
Oh, definitely coffee. I could run on coffee.
That your favourite go-to pump-up song?
Eye of the Tiger and Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the tiger. We introduced that to you.
Favourite way to relax after a big race or session?
Plod Squad hoodie on.
Yeah, definitely. And a warm shower.
Chocolate milk.
What's one word to describe each other?
Naughty.
Funny.
What's your favourite book?
The Paula Radcliffe's book, or It's Not About the Bike by Lance Armstrong.
The Winner's Bible is a good one. A lot of self-help books out there, which are fabulous.
That was great. Some good answers there. I don't know if I'd call Angelina naughty though.
No, we're naughty.
You're naughty.
No, we're naughty.
Angelina, what's your future goals and aspirations for On the Track and with Plods?
So currently I'm aiming for the World Juniors 2026, which is in Oregon next year. And then the ultimate goal is the Olympics. So Brisbane 2032, as we said before, is probably the right age. And then obviously one's after that, 3-4 years. And with Plod Squad, I want it to grow into a brand that supports athletes across all levels and builds a community as not just clothing, but a message. And then hopefully a steady source of income to help with my journey.
I think at the level you're at, you could definitely go to 2028 Olympic.
LA, I think.
Yeah.
Why not? And then where can people follow your journey and support you, whether that's keeping up with your races or grabbing some gear from Plod Squad? So give yourself a shout out.
So you can follow Plod Squad Apparel on Instagram, which is Plod Squad _apparel. And also Angelina_athletics is my athletics account on Instagram. And then you can check out the Plod Squad website, which is linked on the Plod Squad Instagram, or find us on Google and grab yourself a hoodie to support the journey.
And do hoodies come in all sizes?
Yeah, so all men's and women's sizes. And the shorts as well, do kids and women's and men's.
Do you do kids in the hoodies?
We don't do like kids sizes, but the size 6 and 8 is a kid's 10,
14,
or something.
Could be anywhere
so
between
the
12
6 and 8
14.
does fit.
Fantastic. And I'll add that all into the show notes, so check out the show notes.
What advice would you give to 10 to 15-year-olds who want to succeed in sport?
Don't take it too seriously at a young age. Have fun, find your passion, try a wide range of things, and you never know what you might specialise in. Might surprise you. But don't forget to keep reminding yourself why you actually started in the first place. It's important to keep remembering that.
And lucky last, what does dominate mean to you?
Showing up for yourself, even when no one's watching.
Get out there, cold, wet, rainy, hot, and finish the session. After session, because you'll always improve.
I love this. I feel like I can speak to both of you for ages. Angelina, I can't believe you're 17. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your maturity is phenomenal. And I can see you succeeding in Plod Squad and in the race walking. We'll be there supporting and cheering at the Olympics, maybe even come watch. And Kerry, you've done such an amazing job with Angelina. I appreciate you sharing your advice, and I can definitely be proud of Angelina and what she's accomplished and done. So thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure. And thanks, Chloe, for co-hosting. I might have to get you more often on our show. What an episode. I find Angelina such an inspiration. And what a beautiful relationship she has with her mother, Kerry. Something I know personally I want to build with my daughter, Chloe. I got so many takeouts. However, 3 key ones that stood out to me as a mum were: let kids explore. Give them the freedom to try different sports. You never know what they'll fall in love with. Be there calm. Sport comes with emotional highs and lows. Celebrate the wins, and when things get tough, don't take outbursts personally. Be the softness and the stability they need to keep on going. And lastly, keep it fun. Don't take it all too seriously, especially in the early years. Help kids enjoy the journey, find their passion, and grow at their own pace. Please check out Angelina's business, Plod Squad Apparel, so she can reach her 2032 Olympic dream. The hoodies are amazing and unique, plus Australian made. All the details are in the show notes. And if you loved hearing Chloe on the mic and want her to help with more interviews, send me a DM on Instagram at D8 Training with the message, "Bring Chloe on." And lastly, if you know a parent or an inspiring athlete who would benefit from hearing Angelina's story and how her mum supports her, please share this episode with them. It might be exactly what they need right now to help them reach the next level. And if you enjoyed this show, don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. It helps us reach more listeners and keep bringing on incredible guests like Angelina. Until next time, dominate your life.